guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're newbie here, you know what to do. Like, comment, share and subscribe. Please encourage me to do this YouTube thing. And if you're an oldie, thank you so much for sticking by. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I installed this full frontal 13 by 4 inches. Fun fact is I made this wig myself. So make sure you subscribe so you get a notification when I post the wig construction video. But this video is going to be about the installation. Keep watching. This is the wig I'll be installing, and I've weaved it in sections, and I'll be explaining that later in the video. Firstly, I'm putting a wig cap, and I'll be showing you guys everything I used alongside as I'm making. So the essence of this wig cap is just to like create a clean slate, especially with the fact that my hair was reddish in color. So you're also going to need a pair of scissors, a small pair of scissors. Any pair of scissors is fine though. If you don't have this small size, you can go with the size you have. I'm cutting the space in my eyes so I can see, and then the ears, of course, so that I could shape the bald cap to the shape of my head. Next thing you need is your got2b spray. I'm using it to hold the cap down, and I'm drying. If you don't have a blow dryer, you can use a you can let it air dry in just a few minutes, but blow dry makes it faster. I'm moving the glue back here because the glue was really forward, so I'm pushing it back so the cap is not so forward. Then I'm just going ahead to cut the excess of the cap out. Just going to tie this at the back. Some people leave it at the middle of their head, but I found it very uncomfortable for me, so I tied it at the back. You want to take your makeup and that's your powder and just blend the bald cap to your head. If the bald cap is not your skin tone, just blend into the color of your skin, just to make it more natural. Next, you will need your got2b glue. If you don't have this glue, you can just stick to the frizz spray alone. It works just fine, but I'm using the glue here. Spreading it out for evenness with your comb or the tail of your comb, whatever you want to use. Make sure you spread it till it's a thin layer, then you blow dry or air dry. As it was getting thinned out, it was getting more transparent, so you make sure it's transparent. Some people, after it gets transparent, you can add a second layer. That's if you're using a very strong water resistant glue. But since this is something I just want to take off after the makeup, I just use one layer. Straight with the wig, just placing it on my head and making sure it's at the center of my head. Make sure you place your wig properly. Next thing you need is your hair wax. This is to lay your hair back, any flying strands laid back. Then I'm combing it down just to press the wig to my scalp. Before I put the hairband, I cut out the ears first. That's the excess part, pressing my ears because my ears were hurting. So I cut it out so my ears will be free before I put the strip band. So you must make sure when you're laying your wig, you cut out the excess so it doesn't cover your ears. Your ears should be coming out of the wig. You can do this while you're doing your general cutting, but I did this first because, like I said, it was hurting my ears. Next thing you need is your hairband to hold the hair down to enable it glue properly. You can cut out any thin piece of elastic material for this. Just making sure it sits properly. And then the reason why I weaved the hair is because I wanted to achieve this kinky kind of curls. So what I'm doing is parting the hair, the way you weave the way you braid normally. So I'm parting the hair into 3 and braiding. So I'm just showing what I did, in the video, but I had weaved the rest on ground before I placed the wig on my head, as you saw, because I wanted it to be easier for me, doing it on a mannequin instead of me having to do everything on my head or trying to work smart. Because if I say I want to do everything on my head and the wig is about 26 inches long, my hands are going to hurt, my arm is going to hurt too. So I decided to weave it first, and just to show this on the video. So that's what I'm just doing. So if you want to do it, you could weave everything down before you even place it on your head to achieve the kinky curls, or you do whatever styling you want to do for your hair. Once I was done weaving the other side, I'm going straight to cutting the wig. You can cut it in sections. For me, I cut it in 4 sections, 2 at the left side, 2 at the right side to make it easier. Then you want to cut it rather in a zigzag motion. If you have a pinky shear scissors, it makes it easier. And I'm also trying to get one. The pinky shear scissors is that scissors that has this zigzag tooth. So you just, cut it and it's just in zigzag. But the essence of cutting it in zigzag is to make it look more natural, because the lace as zigzag will not be easily seen compared to if it was just a straight line. And I'm going back with my got to be to melt the lace to my hair, because when you're done cutting, you would still see, a lot of the lace poking out from the loose end that you cut out. So use the got to be spray or whatever spray you want to use to melt the lace. Feel free to take your time and gently do it. I'm just using my fingers to press it here and tap before I put the hairband back on. Another thing you need is your heat protectant, as long as you are working with a flat iron or any form of heat on your hair. So I'm using a flat iron on the strands or the braids that I made to make the curls more pronounced. But if you weave your hair down and leave it for probably, I don't know, I think maybe 24 hours or a couple of long hours, if you should lose the braids, you still achieve the curls. But this flat iron is faster and the curls will be more pronounced. So I'm just running my flat iron through the braids. That's what I did for every single braid I did, or I braided. I ran my flat iron through everything in order to make the curls more pronounced. Taking off the hairband, the install was so lovely. I just loved what I saw. For me, I don't like taking my lace too forward to my hair because my skull is small, so whatever works for you. I'm applying powder to blend the lace more to my makeup. I'm losing the braids I made to reveal the curls. So that's what you're just gonna do, lose out the braids that you've made. And you could probably apply a little bit of oil on your hand and run it through your hair when you are done, but don't use water or any running liquid, because you could lose the curls, because this is not actually a water curl hair. So if you apply water, it's just going to straighten the curls back again. So what I'm doing is just losing the curls. So I'm just going to go through the process of losing everything. Once I was done losing the curls, I decided to style it to make it look better. So I was redefining my part, and I'm just combing it through. I just used the comb just a little bit, and then the rest was my fingers. So if you want your curls to not be extremely loose, you can use your fingers to do that. Going back with my wax stick to lay the hair flat and to lay every flying strand before I use my hot comb. Some baby hairs, I'm usually not a fan of too much baby hairs. This was actually the highest I've gone so far in doing baby hairs, because I was trying to achieve this UK girl aesthetic, but I did like how it was. Then I'm using my hot comb to just lay the hair down, to lay the hair flat, and you can see how well the frontal is installed. Went ahead to cut out the baby hairs, and I used a small flat iron to, give it that up swoopiness. Another thing you're going to be needing is your comb to lay your edges. But if you don't like edges, that's fine. You could also install the frontal without any form of edges. Or just using it to define the curls right here. Makeup is your best friend during frontal installation. Here I'm putting the powder to make my parts clearer, so you can see the difference in the parts and how the parting looks more defined. Just going back on my hot comb again, just to reflatten it, And this is the final look. You can see how well laid the frontal is, and this install was giving everything I wanted it to give. And I really combed out the curls because I wanted it to be fluffy. So whatever works for you, you could leave the curls more defined, or you could comb it out, very well. I would say I'm really proud of the way the installation turned out. Please subscribe so you would catch the wig construction, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.